Alright, we're going to go ahead and start on our first painting for the flower painting that has the chevron patterns at the bottom. First thing I'm going to do is using a canvas here. It's a 14 by 18. I thought about doing a 16 by 20, but I want to do something just a little bit smaller than a 16 by 20 so it won't be so overwhelming. We're just going to draw the basic shapes for the vase and the flowers and the chevron pattern, and then go ahead and move forward to the overall completion of the painting. I'm going to start off with I'm going to give my painting a nice gray underpainting, and here I have white and black, and I'm just going to mix the two together. And I'm using this gray. This is pretty much the under painting that I'm using for all the videos in this particular course. Nice gray. I'm just going to go ahead and just fill that in. I'm just using a sponge brush here. It's a whole lot easier to paint with a sponge brush. One of the best things invented as far as painting goes. I'm just going to cover up my whole entire canvas with this gray. If you're doing a whole bunch of paintings like this, it's good to just do all of them at once. A lot of times I do this for shows, or if I'm getting ready for preparing for a new inventory, just do a whole bunch of them at once. And that should be it right there. I'm going to let that dry for about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and draw the outline for the vase. Alright, now that the paint dry, we're going to go ahead and draw our vase, flower, and chevron pattern. First thing I'm going to do is draw my vase. Here I'm going to draw my vase kind of in the middle, a nice medium size, and then I'm going to draw my chevron right here up under. I'm going to leave a little space for flowers and everything. So here I'm going to just draw, just on this particular, I'm just going to draw a, I guess like a, let me see, how do I want to do? I'm going to do a vase, kind of rectangular vase. Feeling rectangular today. Straight square, very simple shape. Draw my line for my table, going straight across. Now the fun part, I'm just going to do circles for my flowers. Put one down here, and maybe one up here. And that'll be it, okay? And this is just kind of giving me an idea. I'll probably paint over it, but just kind of give me an idea where I want to put my flowers. As you can see, I used a brush to make my flowers. You can use a pencil. Some people even use Sharpie. I just like using a brush because it just kind of gives me that painter feel. But you can use a pencil, color pencil, or even an oil pastel or crayon. Just kind of draw your image out. And once you do that, you can go ahead and start painting. I'm going to do my background first, and then work my way down. Alright, for my background, I'm going to use some gray and some turquoise. So I have a lot of white here. I'm going to add some white here, a little bit of black. Kind of darken up just a little bit. Like a medium gray, almost close to the background, but not quite. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of go in. let some of my, and I'm doing an upward down motion. Just let some of my background show. I'm gonna go with my flowers. I'll come back over them later. It's going up and down, up and down. Put a little bit of light gray over here. I'm just using different tones of gray just to kind of give it a little bit more depth. Now I'm going to start adding some of my turquoise here. Put it over here a little bit. I'll mix it in with my gray just a little bit. So you guys can see. I'm going to even put some more over here. Just layer on top of layer. Got my light gray, medium gray, and now I'm putting my turquoise. White turquoise all over. Again, I mix some of my gray in. Let some of my background show. That's pretty much it. Put some more turquoise all over here. And I'm using the tip of my palette knife to mix in my colors. And that's pretty much it for that particular part. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to start on my vase. And for my vase, I'm kind of going to give it just a little bit darker gray. So I'm going to add this dark gray right here. Just a tad bit more white. I'm going to just go in. Add a nice variation. Right here. Add a little bit of light to it over here to the left. I'm going to assume that light is coming in from the left, dark on this side, so I'm going to add a little bit more light over here. And I'm going to make it a little bit darker over here. Give a little highlights over to the sides. I want to get some of my white over here, just kind of outline my vase, just so you can see the actual shape. That's about it for the vase. I think I'm going to add just a little bit of turquoise over here, just kind of give it, maybe give it that water feel to it down at the bottom. That should be it. Now what I'm going to do is add my chevron pattern. And I'm just going to start off use my brush. My table line is kind of low, so I'm going to bring it up so it can be even right here, straight across. And all it is just skinny, up and down zigzag lines. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This particular, I'm gonna make them kind of small. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just gonna do that all the way down. And that's it. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and start adding my colors in. And for my chevron, I'm going to use white and turquoise, kind of balance off here at the top. So I'm going to use white and then a little turquoise. Alright, so now I'm going to start on my chevron. Here I'm going to get my white. I'm going to do my white lines first. I'm going to use, since these lines are skinny, I'm going to use the tip of my palette knife. I'm just not going to go into any particular motion, just kind of going to fill in the lines, okay? So here I'm going to go white right here. And I'll paint all the way onto my white lines. I love doing this. I know it sounds crazy, but I just love doing this. I love the scratching. Probably seen it in my other videos. I love using the tip of the palette knife. While I'm working on this chevron pattern, this gives me time for this part to dry so I can add some of my flowers. So my colors won't be so messy. I like painting wet on wet, but for this particular lesson and for this particular painting, I want my this to be a little dry so when I add my flowers, the colors won't get too muddy. This could take a little longer time. I could do this with a brush, but I like the texture. You can do this part with a brush, probably be a whole lot easier. But I like just creating texture and stuff with the palette knife, and these lines and stuff with the palette knife, so it'll be a while. Alright, now that I got the white part for the chevron pattern, now I'm going to do my turquoise. And here I'm going to got some white and some turquoise. I'm going to mix it in, nice good coat. Might get just a little bit of this gray to kind of dull it down just a little bit. It's very intense, you can see. fill it down just a little bit. That should be good right there. This color is a nice color. I'm just gonna go in, fill in right here. Using the tip of my palette knife. Just gonna finish that in right there. That should be it. Now I'm gonna get my brush, just kind of tighten up the lines to make it a nice clean lines for some of them. And that's it. This color is a little bit more intense than the turquoise I had earlier, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more throughout the painting. By now, my paint is dry here, so it's not really still wet, so I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. Make sure my table line is the same height. A little bit like it's a little off, just a tad bit. That should be about right. Go in and outline that. And now I'm gonna add my flowers. Now what I want to do, I'm kind of going to go back over what I drew earlier, circles. So I'm just going to kind of go over here, draw a circle over here. Just kind of give a suggestion of where my flower is going to be. I think that'll be it right there. Let's see, do I want to put anywhere else? I think I might put one just over here just for composition. Let's see. I think that'll be good. Okay. Alright. Since this is a grayish tone painting with a little brightness from the turquoise, I want to give it some color just to kind of make it pop. So I'm going to use red and pink. So I'm going to add a little white and red to it. Got some old paint from the other video that I did, so I'm just going to add this white, pink here. Just going to go around in circles once again. This is pretty fairly easy. I know anybody can do this. Just go around in circles. I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger. Just kind of keep feeling some of the empty space in between them. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Again, you notice I'm not really staying in a particular line or anything like that. Just kind of going real big. A lot of looseness. one more right here. That should be it. Let's see. Now, when you're doing a paint like this, you can do any flower that you want. I would say practice doing different flowers, but here I just know this is a lot easier because he's just using a circular motion. This kind of represent the flower. I mean, excuse me, it represents the rose. Of course, we know a rose doesn't look exactly like this, but this just kind of gives a suggestion of sort of like a rose or a circular flower. Here I'm just adding some white, some light pink, just to kind of give it the flower a little bit more depth. I'm just using the tip of my brush, just going over certain parts of the flower, just to kind of give it that 3D look a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to add some more colors to it. Here I'm going to add maybe just a small flower over here. Let's see, one right here. Small little flower here. Just kind of filling in all these little small areas right here. I'm going to put a little green here, green here. Just add some green just to kind of give it some color. I'm going to do some little highlights right around here just to kind of give it some color. Here I'm just using some white, a little bit of yellow tone to it, and that should be about it. Just going to fill in just a little bit of color here, some turquoise, just to kind of give it some balance, and that should be it. Oh, I might have put too much on that. Let me go back in and fix that. A little bit too much color right there. There we go. What I can do now is just kind of go in and just touch up the areas here. Just kind of outline a little bit with the brush. Still letting some of that gray from the background show. So And that's it. Hope you guys like it. Cool little tutorial that I'll enjoy making. That's it. Thanks so much.